Hosea, the prophet and author of the Book of Hosea, stands as a powerful biblical figure whose life and message resonate deeply with themes of strength, conviction, and redemption. Living during one of Israel's most tumultuous periods, Hosea was a voice of steadfastness in the face of societal collapse. His prophetic journey is a tale of personal struggle, unwavering dedication, and a call to manly virtue through lessons of faithfulness, leadership, and the resolve to stand for truth even when the world falls apart. This video will explore the life of Hosea, his prophetic mission, and how his message offers essential masculine lessons for modern men seeking purpose and strength. Hosea's historical context: a man in the midst of chaos. To understand Hosea's significance, we must first place him in the proper historical context. Hosea lived during the 8th century BC, a time when the northern kingdom of Israel, also known as Ephraim, was on the verge of collapse. Political instability, social corruption, and widespread idolatry were rampant, making it one of the darkest periods in Israel's history. The mighty Assyrian Empire was looming on the horizon, and Israel's moral decay was hastening its inevitable downfall. In this chaotic environment, Hosea's role as a prophet was not just to deliver God's message, but also to embody it through his own life. He was called to rise above the prevailing immorality and decay, holding steadfast to his convictions and his God-given purpose, a lesson in itself for men today. In a world often full of noise, distractions, and temptations, Hosea's life reminds us that true masculinity requires standing firm in our beliefs and holding on to integrity, even when everything around us seems to crumble. Hosea's marriage, a living metaphor of faithfulness. One of the most remarkable and controversial aspects of Hosea's story is his marriage to Gomer. At God's command, Hosea married Gomer, a woman who was unfaithful to him, engaging in adulterous relationships. This act served as a living metaphor for the unfaithfulness of Israel to God, who had played the harlot by worshiping false gods and abandoning the covenant relationship with the Lord. For modern men, Hosea's marriage provides a profound lesson on the challenges of loyalty, perseverance, and leadership in relationships. Hosea's marriage was not just a personal battle, but a reflection of God's unfailing love and pursuit of his people, even when they were unfaithful. Hosea's example teaches that true masculine strength is not just about physical might or domination, but about emotional endurance, forgiveness, and the ability to lead with love through hardship. Hosea did not abandon Gomer, even when she failed him repeatedly. Instead, he redeemed her, demonstrating the importance of covenant loyalty. For men today, particularly in a time where commitment is often seen as temporary and disposable, Hosea's example calls us to a higher standard of relational integrity, a call to masculine leadership, guiding in dark times. Hosea was a prophet who spoke truth to power. He confronted Israel's kings, priests, and people for their sins, including their reliance on foreign alliances, their indulgence in material wealth, and their idolatrous worship of Baal. Hosea's voice was one of clarity and authority in a time when moral leadership was in short supply. For men today, this is a powerful reminder of the role of leadership. In Hosea's life, we see that being a leader is not always about winning the admiration of others. Sometimes it means standing alone, holding to truth, and being the voice of reason and righteousness in a world that prefers comfort over conviction. Hosea's example encourages men to embrace their role as leaders in their families, communities, and workplaces by embodying principles of justice, righteousness, and integrity. Even when Hosea's message was unpopular, he did not waver. This characteristic is essential in the world today, where societal pressures and cultural trends can often lead men away from their moral compass. Hosea's resolute leadership teaches that true masculinity involves taking a stand for what is right, even if it's unpopular. Repentance and redemption. A masculine journey of renewal. At the core of Hosea's message is the theme of repentance and redemption. Hosea repeatedly called the people of Israel to return to God, reminding them of his endless mercy and willingness to forgive. Even though Israel was deeply entrenched in sin, Hosea proclaimed that if they would turn back to God, they would be restored. This lesson speaks directly to men who may have lost their way or who feel burdened by past mistakes. Hosea's life demonstrates that true masculinity is not about being perfect, but about being humble enough to acknowledge where we've gone wrong and courageous enough to seek redemption. Just as Hosea sought to bring Israel back to God, modern men are called to lead not only others, but themselves toward a path of spiritual and moral renewal. Masculine strength is shown in the willingness to admit faults and seek to grow. Hosea's call to repentance is a call to men to embrace the journey of continuous self-improvement and to lead by example. The masculine call to protect and provide. While Hosea's story is deeply personal, it also carries the message of a man's duty to protect and provide. Hosea's message wasn't just for his own benefit, but for the survival of his people. He warned them of the destruction that awaited them if they continued in their ways, yet he also showed them the path to safety and security through obedience to God. For men today, the lessons are clear. Just as Hosea sought to protect his people from harm by providing them with wisdom and guidance, men are called to protect those under their care, whether it be their families, communities, or even broader society. But this protection is not just physical. It's also spiritual and emotional. Men are called to provide wisdom, guidance, and stability in times of uncertainty. The masculine courage to love when it's hard. One of the most challenging aspects of Hosea's journey was his call to love Gomer despite her repeated infidelity. In a modern context, this speaks to the immense strength required to love when it's difficult. Love is often portrayed as a feeling or emotion, but Hosea's story shows us that true love is an act of will, a conscious decision to continue to care and provide even when it's undeserved. This kind of love requires deep emotional strength and maturity, something that many men may struggle with in today's fast-paced, often superficial world. Hosea's story calls men to embrace love as an action, to love their families, partners, and communities with the kind of dedication that isn't dependent on circumstances or reciprocity. This is the ultimate test of masculine strength, to give even when it's hard, and to love without expecting anything in return. Final lessons from Hosea, a model for modern masculinity. Hosea's life and message are more than just ancient history. They provide a model for men today to live lives of integrity, strength, and leadership. Hosea's masculinity was not defined by physical prowess or dominance, but by his unwavering faith, emotional strength, and moral courage. He stood firm in the face of overwhelming opposition, loved when it was hard, led when it was difficult, and remained faithful when others were not. For men today, especially those seeking to embody biblical masculinity, Hosea offers a powerful example. He calls us to live lives of loyalty and integrity, to lead with conviction, to love sacrificially, and to always seek redemption, both for ourselves and those around us. In a world that often presents a shallow view of masculinity, Hosea reminds us that true strength is found in character, conviction, and the courage to follow a higher calling. His story is not just a relic of the past, but a beacon of hope and inspiration for men today, urging them to embrace their divine purpose with humility and strength. That's all for today's video. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful stories. Join the community and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new content designed to challenge and empower you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.